got a Charlie Mike. Yeah. Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Charlie Mike Show. As always, I'm your host, Raul, and your co-host is William.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? We're coming to you from the Pearland Podcast Studio. This is another section of our studio. You know, we got some new chairs in, got some new mic setups. Want to come display it to you guys while we have our virtual guest today.
Yeah, definitely, man. You know, we just keep making changes in the studio, trying to get better, trying to get things even better than what they were.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Better. You guys, what you guys don't know is Raul is definitely a perfectionist, and so he wants to see everything right. When most of the times we can get about 90% there.
I want it all. Perfect.
I know, bro. I know. So we're working together. Like, no, we're gonna get better. We're just gonna get better. We're gonna get better.
Yeah, I wish I could hear our business meetings, man, because I'm like, I want it perfect. He's like, there's no such thing as perfect. I'm like, yes, there is.
It's a growing pain.
Yeah, man. So today we have actually our guest is virtual. Is it virtual?
It is virtual.
That's how you say it, virtual.
So proud of you, bro.
Thank you, bro.
So many words.
Yeah. Go for it.
And you know what's interesting about our guest today is that Raul and I both have been on their podcast, and they are a veteran podcaster as well.
Man, they are. And you know what? The name of their podcast, it brings to the you already know it's like it's a veteran podcast, or they talk about a lot of veteran topics, and the name of it gave it away. And I had to ask the stupid question, why the name?
Right.
And they told me. Exactly what I thought.
Yeah, that made sense.
Exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
Ad. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So do me a favor, man. Introduce our guest.
Man, let me tell you. So how did we meet?
Hey, bro. How's it going? Hey, dude, I want to say before we get it, I love y'all's little studio there, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Anyway, we met through Jamie. Saw you on Facebook or Facebook, I believe, and really got intrigued with your show. And this was obviously pre-William. I think William was still like figuring out life.
Yep.
And
I'm still doing that now.
And she got me into it. And I started listening. I was like, wow, this dude does some good shit. And I thought your name was Charlie too, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I think the first exchange
I was like, James, his name Charlie. He goes, no, it's Raul. I was like, oh, okay. Thanks for letting me know. I'd like to add. But no, that we just started bullshitting, and you were on our one of our To Hell with the Stigma episodes.
Yeah. Definitely, man. I love that episode actually, because I watch and listen to a lot of segments y'all do, and I love the way y'all do that. Y'all break it down in different segments, and that's pretty awesome, man. Yeah. And it's not all about Navy stuff.
No, it's easy for us to do Navy. Guys, I did 26 years. Jamie's been in 18, so it's easy to do Navy, but it's kind of sometimes it's good to get out of our comfort zone and have people like you on, ex-Army dudes. And we've had Marines. I don't think we've had an Air Force yet, but it's hard to find those guys. But just kidding, Air Force. But no, we've had every other branch on. And I don't think we did Coasties either, but mainly Army, Marines, and Navy, and National Guard. We did some National Guard, but reservists, active. We've done it all. And it's good to get out of that comfort zone because you can learn something,
Yeah, I apologize. I didn't even introduce you, man. So
fine.
This Heath, and then his wife is the other half of the show, Jamie, and she is on special duty recruiting.
Yeah, she's like forever special duty now. That's her job, is just like slinging bodies for Uncle Sam. You know what I mean?
Okay, man. So you did 26 years in the Navy.
Yeah.
Bro, you look like you're freaking our age.
Well, how old are you?
Oh, he's 23.
Yeah. He wishes.
No, man. I'm 41.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can't be, what are you?
I'm 47, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're about the same in there.
Yeah, I'm 47, dude. I joined at 19, almost 20, and I went till I was 45.
Hey, man, when you tell people that you're retired out of the military, do they look at you stupid?
Yeah, especially when I shave. I got a little gray on my beard. My hair is not as gray as my beard, but yeah, they look at me sideways like, dude, you don't look old enough to even like maybe have 10 or 15 years. And I said, no, I'm 26, bro.
Yeah.
20, hard 26 too.
Man.
Not as hard as you guys. You know, I didn't actually have boots on ground in Iraq. We just, we showed our love from afar.
You 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 just retired. What was it, last year? The year
No,
before?
almost 2 years ago. Yeah, it'd be 2 years ago.
It's been 2 years already?
October 31st of this year, make 2 years, man. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, man. It's been interesting the last 2 years, man. Figuring out myself.
Okay, so y'all started the podcast when y'all were E7s.
Well, I was an 8.
Oh, you were
yeah,
8.
I was an 8, and Jamie was still in E6.
Okay.
So yeah, I had her about 2 break grades, but she still wore the pants. You know how it is.
what, what is she sitting at now?
Oh, she's a 7 now.
7, yeah.
Chief in the Navy. Yeah, she made it last year.
That's right. I watched it on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
I did. She got promoted. Yeah.
Yep. I was there, man. It was in BFE, Pennsylvania. They had a ceremony. It was a good time, though. Good time.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
So tell us about tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, man. Like, honestly, I'm a redneck that's been around the world. I'm from Central Louisiana. Not a lot of demographics in Central Louisiana. There's black and there's white, and now there's a more Hispanic population. But back then it was black and white, and so I didn't know a lot of about other cultures. You know what I mean? So I joined the Navy, and now I've been around the world. I learned so much about different cultures, different ethnicities. But I did 26 years. I was electronic technician. I've been on 5 ships. I did 2 naval air stations in Texas and the motherland. And I did 1 special naval special warfare tour in Southwest Mississippi.
Dang.
Yeah,
a little bit everywhere, huh?
A little bit of everything, dude. So I always tell everybody, counting planes, trains, cars, and boats, I've been around the world.
Man.
Yeah.
So you're a young man from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Did you expect it?
Expect what?
Like, what was the plan? Let's say junior high you. What did you want?
I didn't want to join the damn Navy. I wanted to go to college, but I went to college. I was doing okay till I discovered alcohol and women.
I heard that.
And then I just bottomed out, man. I went from like a 3.5 GPA to like a 1.5, dude. And I honestly, I didn't like it. I was burned. I don't like school. I mean, I hate school. I hate just the every day doing the same damn thing. It's just so boring. I think I got a touch of ADHD probably because it was so hard for me to give a shit about it. And it's not like I paid for college myself. So it's not like I was wasting my own damn money. And then I just said, I ended up getting married, and not to James. It's like a long time ago. And my wife at the time got pregnant. I needed health insurance. The whole reason for me joining the Navy was for health insurance. Mm. That was the only reason I joined. And then I started, the money's every 2 weeks, you get paid clockwork, first and 15th.
Guaranteed.
And then I was pretty good at it. I noticed you didn't have to be the best. You just had to be better than the other guy.
Yep.
So I ended up promoting, and I just, they threw money at me to reenlist, $45,000 to reenlist. It'll make you, got to do some things to your mind.
You were a pre 9/11 vet.
I was, yeah. I joined in 95, man. Yeah, so I was an E5 when 9/11 hit.
E5.
Yeah.
Take us back to that day. We always like to ask people what they remember and where they were on 9/11.
I remember like it was yesterday, man, because I was stationed on the USS Abraham Lincoln out of Everett, Washington. But we were in the yards, and the carrier, the Everett could not support a carrier in the yard. So they had to go to Bremerton, which is, if you drove it around, is about 100 miles. But we took buses and we took the ferry, which, knocked it down, So the Navy chartered buses for us. And I remember we got on the bus at 5:05. I remember 5:05 in the morning, and we got to work around 7-ish, where they dropped us off. But we got to Bremerton, And the gate guard said, no civilians can come on base right now. So instead of taking us to where they dropped us off closer, they dropped us off at the gate. And I heard, and I was, you always take a nap. So I was half asleep. And I heard somebody say the World Trade Centers got hit. That's all I heard, or bombed or something. Whatever. And I thought it was some drill. You know how the military like to throw drills at you, see how you act sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes they throwing drills at you, just see how everybody reacts. See if you're quick on your feet. So I'm like, some damn drill. So I walked, and it was a good half-hour walk, man, to the ship. And I remember getting to the shop, and it was on TV. The people that had duty the night before, because we stay overnight on duty, and they had it on, and they were just talking about it. And I got there, I got to my shop probably within 5 minutes of the second plane hitting. I missed the first plane. I didn't see that, but I saw the second plane. It was just like, this can't be happening. I just remember being pissed off. Like who the F do they think they are? Kind of thing. And then it just got so crazy after that. Everything was a blur. Ships coming home from a deployment is getting turned around. Ships not scheduled to go out to sea for another 3 or 4 months, or getting sent to deployment early. We didn't, because we were in the yards. We were so, broke, because they had us tore apart, in the middle of a yard period. The ship gets refitted and gets worked on and everything else. We were not in condition because we were in the middle of the yard period. But I just remember craziness. I remember just every day, you never knew what was happening. The news, the news is crazy. And I just remember, but I remember the next day, September 12th, walking in from the gate of the base, that half-hour walk. There was people that lived on base that you could see their houses from a distance. And all you could hear was, God bless. And all the yard workers, God bless the USA, was on. Everybody had flags up. It was like, so I'd never seen that before. And at the time I was 25. I'd never seen that before. And I probably remember September 12th more than I remember September 11th.
Nah, I think we actually discussed that.
Yeah.
And then I missed September 12th.
Yeah.
I missed the way everyone was American. Everyone loved the USA. The flags were out and waving. There was like no divide.
Everybody was on the same team.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure. But man, it was a scary time. I remember being more pissed off than scared. Right? I was like, this, had this happen, but I remember like, dude, let's go get them, man.
Yeah.
Let's go get them.
So what was your job at that time in the Navy?
I was electronics tech, which that means, you have electricians that work on like your voltages that feed the equipment. I actually worked on the equipment. Right. So like a UHF transceivers, radios, radars, SATCOM, line of sight, a little bit of stuff like that. That's kind of what I did. I was a big UHF ultra high frequency equipment technician. So I worked on a lot of the ultra high frequency equipment on the ship, which was a lot. So that was my thing. Yeah. And every time I went to a different place, I worked on something different. It was, and then, in the Navy, if it's broke, everybody works on it, no matter if you went to school for it or not.
So when you were explaining your job, what I pictured was you standing over, one of those old screens with the bing. you know what I'm talking about? Like this.
Yeah, dude. The Navy's evolved, but it hadn't evolved that much when I was young.
Yeah,
we still somehow had that old school stuff in there. Oh yeah, I remember a lot of that stuff. Yeah, like you're playing like a Pong machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Man. So a little bit of that, things like that, and just a lot of communications, and a lot of radar equipment.
Got you.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't think I couldn't get in the Navy. I had a little bit of of a checkered past.
No, the Navy's probably one of the more lax ones, man.
Oh,
Nowadays.
it wasn't as lax as the Army when
No.
Yeah,
Army,
what?
you got a pulse? Hey, you're in, bro.
Yeah, you could put your shoes on, you were good, bro.
What did they say? If you can walk and chew gum,
Yeah. Shit, I met a
like,
couple people couldn't do that.
that's a skill, bro.
Yeah, I
That's
bet
a
some.
skill.
Yeah. You could tie your shoes. No. Okay, we'll Velcro them.
You're gonna be a tanker.
Yeah.
you know, tankers would have those freaking straps.
Man.
Sorry, tankers.
Yeah. Soldier Heart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We gotta get that guy back.
Definitely. Man, so tell us. So how long have you been doing your podcast? Now it's not E14 podcast. It's the Sailor's Voice.
It's E14 podcast, the Sailor's Voice.
Okay.
Yeah, I call it E14 podcast for short because that's a lot to type in when you type all that stuff in. But,
Right.
we started, and it's kind of evolving. Honestly, guys, lately we've been kind of slow because Jamie's been so busy, and I still don't feel right doing it without her, even though I do sometimes. But yeah, we started in January of 21. That's when our first January, I think 15th is when our 21 our first episode dropped, like on iTunes and all that. Not iTunes, but Apple Podcast.
Well, now what led you to that? What was the idea bouncing around? What made you want to do it?
COVID lockdown, man.
Yeah,
bro. I mean, it was a rough time. You got to think every time you turn on the news, CNN's hating on Trump, Fox is hating on everybody else. It was just like a lot of diversity, a lot of people. A lot of whining, a lot of complaining, a lot of bitching, a lot of moaning. So I got tired of watching. So I just didn't watch the news no more. It just pissed me off. And it was sad to watch the divide. That pissed me off. And there was really nothing to do, man. I mean, the Navy was, I don't know if you guys y'all wasn't active duty during COVID, right?
No, we were out by then.
I figured. But anyway, even when the rest of the country was kind of coming out of the lockdown and going to eat out and doing things, the Navy couldn't. We were the only force, the service out of all the services that strict down, and we couldn't even go get a haircut. Wow. And we couldn't do anything, man. We couldn't do shit. We were locked down. We'd go essentially like Walmart and things like that. Like if we wanted to go eat out, all we could do was like get it and go pick it up at the restaurant and take it home. We couldn't eat out.
So it was like extra restrictions on top of everything else that's going on.
Right. The Navy, yeah. And then if we wanted to take leave, bro, it was a pain in the ass, man. You had you had to do a risk assessment, and if you had so many points, the higher the risk, the more points you got,
right.
And if you got so much, you get denied.
Yeah.
And so anyway, nothing to do. Jamie had done a podcast before with some other Navy recruiters called Savage Squad. And they had kind of slacked off a little bit, and she asked if I want to do it. And I was like, yeah, hey, let's do it. So we start out with these USB mics.
Yeah.
And then, we end up getting a audio interface and got better mics and better equipment slowly but surely. And yeah, then we just kept going. Yeah.
Any chance you got a Yeti at one time? That seems to be the common one. Did you
no, I didn't get those.
Yeah. And I was like,
no, because my first mics were actually kind of top of the line because of Chris. Because of Chris, my buddy. He was originally going to start a podcast, and he's like, I don't got time for it. And I had put it on Facebook one time, and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about starting a podcast. And he's like, come see me. So I was like, all right. So I went and saw him, and he's like, hey, I got all this shit, and I'm not going to use it. And I was like, okay. He's like, take it.
That's awesome.
We'll figure everything else out down the road. And I was like, all right.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. I remember, dude, we were so backwoods, man. We had to have a program so we could actually talk at the same time.
Yep.
Because we had to interface the two mics together. And yeah, it was so much easier. Let's plug this damn interface in. And I also have a Rodecaster too. So I use that sometimes. And I could use either or. It's just the interface is easy. I don't have to mess with it. And I was kind of short on time today because I had a meeting thrown at me at the last minute. But yeah, man, it's so easy, dude, compared to what we used to have to go through. And the quality is so much better with these interfaces and stuff.
And just to see, I see you changed the background.
Yeah.
I noticed a lot of things y'all did on y'all side, man. It's looking good.
Thank you, man. Yeah, we moved and we have this bedroom that we don't use, and that's our studio.
Heck yeah.
So since
Yeah.
you've been doing the podcast since 2001, you said
2021.
2000 and damn, I said 2001.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think they had podcasts back then, did they?
Yeah, I don't think we just discovered the internet, huh? No.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Now, so out of all your guests, man, what is one of the standout podcasts? Like if you tell somebody, man, check out my podcast, start at this episode, or is there one of those episodes?
Yeah, I had a couple, man. Like the episode with you was great, dude. I've listened to it probably that episode probably 10 or 15 times, man. That's a lot because I don't like re-listening and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Hearing his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that Texas swang, man. It does something for me.
People
He's
say that,
blushing.
but I don't see it. I don't hear it. People are like, hey, I like your accent. I was like, accent? It's a slur. I got a speech impediment, bro.
Well, you were in the army, so it's just I'm joking. I messed up.
No, you're right.
No, your show was great. Also, we had Florida Men on Florida Man.
Oh, wow.
They're big. I don't know if you've heard of those guys. They're pretty big in Florida, obviously. But we had Wayne, one of the hosts, on our show a couple times. He's always good. But honestly, man, some of the best ones I like, the ones I like aren't even like podcasters, dude.
Yeah.
We had this one guy on. He's a E9 Master Chief in the Navy, Gonzalez, and this dude here, man, he made me want to fight Al Qaeda, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, he pumped me the hell up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I had Ian from Wild Whiskey. He's an Army cat, retired Army cat. He retired like a year ago, maybe. But me and Jamie did one with him. So his Wild Whiskey, his show, which is a good show, real good show. He does whiskey with history, right? So he'll talk about history of whatever, a lot of American history. And he'll talk about the whiskey he's drinking. Well, anyway, he came on the show and he sent me all this whiskey, like little 2-ounce bottles, whatever I picked. And man, we got drunk, dude. I mean, we were drinking it neat. And I didn't get 2 bags. It wasn't a lot, but Jamie never drank whiskey. And she was drinking drink for drink with us.
Yeah. I could see her just start laughing and giggling.
Jamie was drunk, dude. That shit was fun. That was funny, man. That was funny. That was a good episode too. And Scuttlebutt, it's always fun having the Scuttlebutt podcast on because those guys are just out of control. They're Navy guys. Freaking.
Yeah. Scuttlebutt.
Yeah.
It's a newspaper too, right?
Yeah. It is. But they've been around, probably they were around before COVID.
Okay.
Yeah. He was doing shows when he was, I think, stationed in Japan out of his barracks room.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this dude's been around for a minute, man. But no, everybody. Dude, let's think about podcasting, bro. You meet so many badass people, man. You can't even rank them, man. They're really great in their own way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. We've had some people on here, man, that make you want to just burn the place down and take off running. Like
I tell you a fun one I had. I did one with a teacher once. He was like, and me and him got freaking blitzed, but it was a good show, man. It was a good conversation because we were drinking, talking, comparing military and teaching and all this. And once you get down to it, every job's kind of the same, man, in its own way. All this stuff, it all relates. You can find relatable stuff in anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So no, I've had some fun shows, man. I tell you what about podcast. I've met some badass people in podcasting.
Yeah, we definitely have. Actually, that's how we met each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, he stalked me for a good while, man, and we, finally it happened. I gave in.
Yeah, gave in to the temptation.
I gave it up. I mean, they gave it in.
Yeah. I made him wine and dine me first, though.
Well, what's cool is that you guys are from the same area and it's kind of hooked up like that. So it's real easy because you live close to each other.
Yeah, and that was something we found out after we talked for a little bit. We were like, hey, man, I said, well, you want to meet here? And you were like, yeah, I live right down the road. I was like, oh, shit. Yeah.
But what's good about y'all? What's good about y'all show is that you're actually doing shit for people. You're actually helping people out, man. You're putting out the good words, teaching, training, whatever. But you're actually putting feet to road and doing stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot of work, man. It's hard enough to do a podcast, you know, find the time between family and life and everything else. But you guys take it up a different notch. And I mean, let's help out this veteran organization or whatever. And that's what's good about y'all. Y'all don't just stop at the show. Y'all keep going.
Man, we're trying, man. We're trying, especially with the studio. We've heard, you know, because we get other people coming here record their podcast, and we've heard some amazing stories, like non-military related.
Right.
Yeah, man. There's some fighters out there, bro.
Dude, it's crazy, man. I mean, of all walks of life.
All walks of life.
Yeah.
And then, man, we got some smart. We got these kids that come in. I say kids, man, but they're not kids. They're what, 22, 23?
Kids, man. They're kids.
Yeah, okay. I say it too, man. But they come in here and they, you know, they speak so knowledgeable about what they talk about, you know, and it's everything from, well, kind of, it's everything from women to like business and entrepreneurship and making money. And, you know, and I was like, man, if I would have been that way when I was like 22, 23, I wish I knew that information.
Well, dude, I mean, information is at their fingertips now.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah,
it wasn't like that, dude. We had to go to the library to find that shit out.
Hey, you remember
The
that
encyclopedia.
thing? You remember that thing with you go to the library, you put
Dewey Decimal System, baby.
Yeah.
Dewey Decimal.
That's it. Yeah.
Dude, I thought about the Dewey Decimal the other day. I don't know why I thought about it. I was like, dude, that's such a thing of the past, dude.
Yeah, bro. Imagine if you would have told your kids, "Hey, go find this book." They looked at you crazy, like, "Get out of here."
They went, "No, Dewey, what?"
Yeah, download it on my iPad. Yeah,
download the app.
Yeah.
So you're doing the podcast, active duty, and you've gotten out 2 years ago. So what was that like? The transition from being active doing a podcast to now, you know, being a veteran doing a podcast.
It's honestly, I treat it the same, man. I mean, all we were doing was speaking from experience, right? And are having people on that has experiences they can speak to. So the experience is still there. You know, it's just that I don't wear the uniform anymore, but the experiences are still there. And that's what the podcast. Now, transitioning was a different story. That was a little tough just because, you know, what am I doing? Right? I mean, what do I do with myself? What do I do with my hands? You know, I don't
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know because I'm doing the same thing for a lifetime. You know, like you said, those kids that you have come on and use your studio, they weren't even born yet.
Yeah, nah, they weren't. Yeah,
they weren't even born yet, man. I mean, when you know you're old, bro, when there's a kid that's drinking age, join the Navy, and they were born when you were in the Navy. The day they were born, you were actually in the Navy. That's just a whole slap in the freaking face, man. And so yeah, the transition was tough. I got over it, man. You know, you get over it. You either do or you don't. So I wasn't going to try not to be a statistic and do my best. But Jamie helped out a lot with that. It's cool because she's still in. And, you know, that being a chief in the Navy is such a big deal. E7, you know, chief petty officer, it's such a big deal with all the tradition that goes along with it. I can still live vicariously through her eyes. Like she was talking about what she's doing today with the new chief selects. People got selected for chief. And I just remember like what I did when I was in her position, you know, with the new guys coming in, new chiefs, and how, you know, and what I did. So it's cool that she's still there I can live vicariously through her. So that helps. But I'm glad to be out, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad.
You miss it?
No, I miss the people. I will be honest, man. I don't, and y'all can edit this out, man. I don't care, but I don't regret joining. But the Navy now is not the Navy I joined. You know what I mean? It's not the Navy. I would have troubles. I'm such an old school at heart. It would, not saying I don't believe in change. I think some change is good. Things need to change, but there's some things that it would be hard for me to stand up for.
Yeah, like they changed over the PT test, bro.
Yeah, we said a lot of that.
And I'm like, geez, I know.
Yeah.
I feel so old. Like I'm not with it. Like it was three exercises. Right now, it's like this whole comprehensive thing, and it's rolled out. And I'm like, man, I am glad I missed that.
What? It's not running push-ups and sit-ups no more. Damn.
It has to do with like weights and like pull-ups and like some. Maybe we'll have someone come on and tell us what it's about. But
so it's like that fit stuff that people do right now. What's that called?
Like CrossFit.
CrossFit.
I think it's something like that. But it, like you said, just the change, and I'm like, wow.
It's almost like the military hires people. Let's see if we can make this as complicated as possible. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, instead of going a straight line.
Yeah, man. Let's do some diagonal, some crisscross shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, definitely does. Definitely
So
does.
yeah, there's some things I would do it because if I'm wearing the uniform, I would do what I'm supposed to do. But it would be hard. I would be pissed off about it, but I would do it.
I think one of the scary things I think about now, man, is like, because a lot of the old heads, and when I say old heads, I mean people like our age and
Yeah, my age.
older. Yeah, a little bit older. But are getting out. It's time for them to get out. What happens with this new generation of soldiers, sailors, Marines, Air Force, go to war?
Mhm.
What happens? Do we fucking win?
Dude, I did a podcast about that actually. It was called I do a thing called Heath's Retirement Rant.
Uh-huh.
And I have retirees on because we can all talk shit, but active duty can't,
Yeah.
So we talked about that. We're like, we're going to have to don the uniform and do it. Like you and me, like us 40 and older. we're going to have to do it, man. Yeah, but I think there's still some badasses out there that have to be in their 20s. I know it. It's just I don't think when I joined for health insurance, but I stayed for pride of service.
Yeah.
You never re-enlist for the same thing you enlisted for usually. So I gained that pride of service after doing it. And I think I got to believe that that's still going to happen.
I hope you're right.
I hope so too. I'm not saying I'm right, but I hope I'm right.
Yeah.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
Pride of service. Yeah.
Pride of service. I like
that.
Because
you stay in because you're doing something bigger than you.
Yeah.
Bigger than yourself. Because it ain't for the money.
Well, you want rich? We're rich.
Oh yeah, I'm rich in here, man. Rich in my
heart. So tell us what you're doing now.
Well, I work for a electrical contractor here in local near Pittsburgh, and I do the planning layout for them, which is hard. I mean, I guess if I was a construction electrician for my whole life, it wouldn't be so hard. But I've never had a building get put up and I run the electricity in it, right?
Mm.
So the construction part's tough. I get the electricity part. Electricity is electricity, but you can't put that there because that wall is going to go here, and you just got to be. There's always so many things you got to look at with construction because shit changes. And you got when you lay something out, you got to plan for that. What if this changes? You want to give yourself a little leeway. You always got to be thinking like a carpenter that builds stairs. You got to be one step ahead. You know what I mean? So you always got to be one step ahead of the process. But it's fun, man. It's challenging, and it's a lot of figuring out problems, and it keeps your mind occupied, which I like.
So what skills do you think that the military has taught you that's really helped you with the job you're doing now?
Honestly, dude, like I did a lot of project management in the Navy. Like, cause when I was at my last command, we were always adding on. There was a lot of project management, and I think being able to keep up with all the stuff that's coming in for the job, that I can do a lot of that mentally in my head. And honestly, I think that's a skill right there. Being able to juggle more than one thing, right? That's a huge skill. And it don't matter if you were a rock layer or you were a engineer in the military. You're going to not just do that. You're doing 10 other things with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is probably, out of anybody that ever joined the military, that's probably the best skill, because no matter what you did, you're doing 10 other things. So be able to juggle your time management, asset management, dude. That's huge things you learn from the military.
Did you have any problems getting into a job? How much time did you take off? Did you just jump into it?
Mentally, I was ready to jump into it. All right. But I couldn't for reasons like Jamie's transfer. I didn't want to get a job and didn't have to leave, things like that. Because no job's worth separating the family, right?
Right.
So as soon as I knew I could, I had a job within 3 weeks of me trying.
So how long from the time you left to the time you got
It
hired?
was I left October. I got hired on almost 11 months.
Oh
But
wow.
you got to think though, 6-7 months of that was waiting to leave
Yeah.
South Louisiana and moved to Pittsburgh. And then I had to get settled. I had to get the house. things.
Oh,
You move. Shit happens. It takes time to get everything like you want it.
Yeah.
So maybe honestly, a month maybe after I
yeah, but do you
really.
think that the gap between your active service to when you did start working, like that's did you want to stop or you want to? So do you think that the gap between when you stopped working to when you did again, that 11 months was beneficial to you and your overall, like, mental health?
Maybe, but I don't know. I think when you're a certain age, you know what you need for the most part. I think I'd have been fine because I was ready to work.
Yeah.
So I think, if anything, I think it hurt me not working until I got used to not working. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I had to get used to being retired for a while. Like at first, I just wanted to. Oh, what do I do? Oh, I'll just drink. I'll smoke cigars. I have go on a holiday. But after I realized, hey, I can't do that every day. It was okay. But I think the hardest part was learn how to be retired. Right. And I think if I would have started a job right away, I wouldn't have needed to learn how to retire.
Right.
So I think for me, I don't think I really needed the break. Maybe I did. I just didn't know it. But personally, I don't think I needed it. I was ready to go. I was still at the top. I didn't retire. I retired at the top of my game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think I still had more to give. I could have gone right into another job.
I mean, I know because like one of the big suggestions that we all hear when we're transitioning from active to it is to like take some time for yourself.
Oh yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, man. There's nothing wrong with that. I think you deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, and we have a friend that came on, Andrew, and he was like he was already working basically
before he got out.
He got out,
Right.
and it was just like the transition was seamless for him. And I think to each its own, right? Like it just
Right.
depends on your own situation, and
Right.
that's what's so difficult about the military transition is it's not one size fits all.
Nope, it's
We
not.
are all so diverse. We all have different backgrounds, and so even though they can set up programs for us or like checklists and stuff, like it doesn't work that way.
Right. And it's hard to make that perfect checklist, like you said, because everybody's different, right? So all they can do is their best. But I take a lot of the onus has to go on the service member too to know what's best for them. So
Yeah, but I think that's hard.
yeah, it's hard. No,
It's hard to be like, hey, you're in charge of your own transition, and then when you're active, you're like, well, this is your mission. You need to do this first before everything else. And I mean, you said it too when, man, I can't remember who we were talking to, but it was like, everybody thinks the army comes first, but your family still comes first.
Yeah,
even though
yeah.
You join the army.
Yeah.
It's difficult when you're in. You're like, no, I got to do the mission. I got to serve.
Well, because they teach you differently.
Yeah.
It's always they had always taught us that the army, is before everything else. So mission first, and then everything else.
Yeah, I think
we always said mission first, sailors always. So yeah, mission's always first, but your sailors come first too, kind of, or your people.
Yeah.
So when you say your people's family, right, is along with that.
Man.
Because I always thought, look, I'm gonna do what I can to take care of these people because I don't want some disgruntled sailor working for me because they're no good to me.
Yeah, you're right.
They're no good to me. There's some people that can be disgruntled, you'll never know, but that's a small percentage, right? So I always did what I could to make them happy. Like when I said make them happy, I mean make sure their family's taken care of. That's about as far as I get into making it happy because a bitching sailor is also a happy sailor. So you kind of got a lot of things to work with, right? I mean, when I say happy, you can't always get what you want. There's a give and take, right?
Yeah.
I found myself as a senior guy. I'm going to give somebody more that's given to me, right? I can't help it.
Absolutely.
Human nature.
Like, take care of me, take care of you.
I mean, we do that for our kids.
Yeah.
Right. If there's a guy or gal that's coming in kicking ass every damn day, and then he or she has a bad week, I'm not gonna come down on that person. I'm gonna find out why he or she is that way, or if it's just a bad week, it's just a bad week. Cough it up. But you got a guy that's always giving you problems. Yeah, I'm gonna give them a lot of problems.
You're right.
I mean, it's just the way it is. It's human nature. But that's life. That's anywhere you go. That's not just in the military.
Mm-hmm.
Man, yeah, that's it. I like that.
Yeah.
You know, so you moved out to Pittsburgh.
Yep.
You've experienced the winters yet?
Yeah, man. That ain't shit, dude. Weak. I'm joking. No, it's cold as fuck, dude. You're talking no,
You bullshitting.
they said it's been mild, but I don't know. I think waking up every day in the teens or 20s is kind of cold.
Yeah, a little bit.
And it stays in the 20s. That's pretty cold.
What you sitting there right now?
80. It's warm now.
He said 80 degrees.
And it's warm.
It's like 108 here.
But man, this morning I woke up, it was in the 50s.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
That's
That's windows.
nice,
That's
dude.
windows open.
Oh, dude, it
Just
was
hanging
nice,
out.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice, dude. I loved it, man. It's just you can always sit outside, man, and not sweat your ass off.
So you like in the evening over there, what you need? Like a little windbreaker and you be all right?
Oh, actually, man, I'm used to it. I don't because sometimes actually there was a few days this winter where I woke up and I thought I was in Louisiana, man.
Oh, yeah.
It was muggy as hell and 80 degrees, which is typical
Yeah.
Southeast Louisiana or East Texas type of weather, you know. But that didn't last but a few days. But not normal, no, man. I mean, if I sit outside, if it's in the 50s, I'm good. Now I get down to 40s, I have to wear a jacket, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because it slows down because it gets in the 80s, 70s, 80s during the day. So it's a gradual cool off. So you're able to get get used to it as it cools off.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
it's not too bad.
They told us a cold front was coming in this week. I think it got down to like 98.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man, you
yeah.
gotta break out the parkas.
Bro, I was looking for my winter coat.
When I was in Corpus, dude, them motherfuckers, the first cool front come through is 75. Then somebody's break out the parkas, dude. I'm like, what are y'all doing, man?
He said the women started wearing those fur on the boots and everything.
man.
All right.
One of them Uggs.
Yeah.
Boots with the fur.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a different breed down in Corpus, man. That's just crazy, dude.
Hey, we got them here in Houston too, man. You
Yeah.
see gust of wind come through and they're wearing stocking caps, you know, the
yeah.
beanies.
Stocking caps.
No, I've been through some cold days in the Houston area, man. I mean, it gets cold sometimes.
Yeah. Man, we're cool, man. As long as you don't take the electricity away, we're good people.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
you take the power away, we might riot. Yeah. Yeah. Man, you know, it's always great, man. I'm hearing you and you speak about what y'all doing, man. Let me ask, man, you miss Louisiana?
Dude, I always miss Louisiana's, got a soft spot in my heart for Louisiana, man, because I'm from there, grew up there. But dude, I don't miss them summers, man. They can keep them. Yeah, I don't mind going to Louisiana to visit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as long as it's in between the months of November and April, I'm good.
Closer towards March and April, you get that crawfish season.
Yeah.
Gotta hit that up. Yeah, that's the only thing. I guess you can get crawfish here. I found out. So next year I got to do it. Up.
Oh, really?
It probably ain't the same.
They say they can ship them overnight live, dude.
Oh yeah, they can. Yeah, LA crawfish.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
We did it in North Carolina.
Dang.
Well, I didn't, but one of the Joes did it. And I'm like, I'll cook them. Yeah, I'll buy them.
The thing about here, guys, is that you appreciate the summers here because you get to go outside. In the wintertime, it's desolate, man. It's dead, no leaves, nothing. It ain't like the South where you still got evergreens and it's dead over here, dude. It is dead, bro. I mean,
everybody stayed inside.
Yeah, man. It's so damn cold. But it was like Christmas. It got down to like -30 with wind chill.
Ah, man, you're crazy.
And Jamie had a lash appointment. I was like, you think they're open? He goes, yeah, they don't close here. And we took her. People were still doing shit, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, in Louisiana or Texas, that's shut down.
Shut down the whole state.
No, ain't nothing happening. People were still going out to those stores, the damn mall. There was still traffic on the roads. I was like, holy shit. And it was cold, bro. It was cold.
That's how summers are here. It's hot. You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, man. Hey,
you ever been to Florida?
Yeah.
You know how the beaches are super white?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. It looked like I was in Florida, except it was snow. It was that much white
Oh,
like,
you mean the sand? I thought you meant the people. My bad. What you
no,
talking?
no. It's like that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
no. Okay.
but the
My
snow,
bad.
the snow looked like white sand out of Florida, man. It was
Yeah.
just everywhere, it's just like a desert, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah, my buddy just came from Florida. He came to visit to Houston, and he went down to Galveston. And I said, "Man, you're from Florida. Why are
Yeah.
you coming here to experience the beach life?" It didn't make sense to me. I
The beach
couldn't
in Dallas
understand.
is not compared to Florida, dude.
Yeah, I didn't understand it. I was like, "Bro,
Yeah.
you got to explain it to me."
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the same golf, but it's not the same
It's
beach,
yes,
bro.
Not
not
the
the
same
same.
beach. Not the
Good
same
Lord.
beach.
Yeah, and he comes here and he's like, "Yep, you're right.
Mhm.
I know." Yeah.
But Galveston's a cool town, man.
I like it. I like it. And because we're from here, of course we get in the water, but it's just
Right.
like other people are like, you know. Yeah,
But just the town of I just like the town of Galveston, man. I think it's a cool town.
Yeah.
It is. It is. Got a lot of history. A lot
Yeah.
of history.
You don't want to be in that son of a bitch when a hurricane's coming. You ain't getting out quick.
Bro,
But
Yeah.
they go underwater like every other
Yeah,
year, man. It's
man.
insane.
Yeah.
Hopefully that don't happen this year.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, you only got another
even-
couple months to get out of this hurricane season.
Yeah, well, y'all get it real bad over there too, don't y'all? Or
Yeah.
not where you're at now, but we're at home.
Oh yeah, do a hurricane a year seem like it used to not be that way, man. It's just recent.
You know, I still see that Six Flags y'all still got over there, and I think it's in New Orleans, ain't it?
Yeah, it's like a ghost town, bro.
Yeah, it's still abandoned.
After
Yeah.
Katrina.
Still
still
there. It's still there, still standing, just abandoned.
And what's weird, bro, it's in New Orleans East, which
Yeah,
is a
yeah.
little town. In the back before Katrina hit, man, that was a place to be. Back in the day.
What was it?
Yeah, I wouldn't drive through that son of a bitch now to save my life unless you like getting shot.
That's what I heard.
Dude, I tell you about my Uber. I went Ubering like right when I retired. I wanted something to do. So I started Ubering. And I knew about New Orleans East. I knew, you don't want to go in there and stuff. But I'm not from that area. I'm from Central Louisiana. So I don't, I didn't really know a lot about New Orleans until I moved there. And I got this call. And you got this call. It's so many miles away, right? So I hit it and I went there. And it was right smack in New Orleans East, dude. I was like, fuck. My ass is gonna die, dude. and I always packed, you never know.
Yeah.
So, but I knew how many guns I had. I didn't know how many guns they were bringing,
Right.
But anyway, it ended up being a nice girl. Just want to ride to work. And she got in the car. She goes, "Why'd you pick me up? I wouldn't have picked me up." I was like, "Damn."
Well, do me a favor and get out.
No, she was nice though. She's honest. She's Jamaican. She was Jamaican. She came. Her and her husband moved from Jamaica. He drives Lyft, and I think he got rolled a couple times.
Dang.
Yeah, man. I never did. Luckily,
I believe it.
It's interesting. I did Uber for a little while too.
Did you?
Yeah, when I was in North Carolina, and actually I did it here too when I first got out. But it's means to an end.
Yeah.
Plus it's also the stories like you mentioned, and there's got to be something a segue there, or like, I'm sure you've got many stories from your Uber rides, just being able to talk to guests and entertain them, where that crossover comes naturally into podcasting too.
it does, and I push my podcast on Ubering too.
Yeah,
there you go.
Because everybody listens to podcasts now.
Yeah,
So,
man, that's an idea. I could see that. I could see that the way, especially the way y'all both talk.
yeah.
I could see y'all both being talkative Ubers. I'd be the guy that sat in there and drove.
Yeah.
like a pissed off taxi driver.
yeah, exactly.
It's got a sign on the back of the headrest.
Yeah.
So they were like, "So where you from?" "No hable."
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it says, "I speak English. I'm just awkward."
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like saying the first word.
We're gonna stare at each other the whole time, looking at the rearview mirror.
There was one dude that got in my car. Dude, I was in New Orleans, and he was a little awkward looking, like he was on the spectrum. Maybe I don't want to insult anybody, but he was a little off. And he got in. I was listening to Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast. I'm a big Stone Cold fan, right? The wrestler.
Yeah.
And he was.
Oh, you meant
He was.
Creamery.
Oh, that's good too. Do they got a podcast?
No, just fucking with you, bro. Hey, over here. All right, don't quote. You're listening to this podcast.
Yeah, and he was kind of getting starting to cuss a lot. So I turned it down, and just out of respect, I didn't know what his views were on profanity. So he starts like talking about his dad and starts wigging out and then going back and forth, like back and forth. I'm like, dude, are you okay? He goes, I was like, man, I'm about to kick you out of my Uber if you don't straighten up. I said, dude, I will kick your ass out. I don't care. I don't care where I drop you off, but you better straighten the fuck up. I didn't mean it. I didn't say fuck, but I was like, you need to straighten. I was trying to be polite as possible, but he kept just freaking out, man. I'm trying to talk him down, man. I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm looking, there's like 2 miles to his exit to where I was taking him. 2 miles from New Orleans is a long ways because there's a stoplight every block. And I hit every red freaking stoplight too, every one. And I was like, this dude, I'm thinking, is this dude packing? I don't know. I don't know what he's got. If he's freaking out, he's packing, he can just start shooting. You never know, man. People are crazy. Yeah. But I ended up dropping him off and it was fine. He gave me like a $10 tip, bro.
Well, that's what's up.
Oh,
I was like, hell, it scared me. I was concerned. I was watching his hands.
Oh,
He's in the back seat, man. I'm watching his hands through. I'm ready because that dude starts digging in his pockets. I'm putting this thing in park. I'm jumping out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then that was scary, but you don't know what's going to happen. You just don't know people.
Yeah, you definitely don't know people.
A lot of people these days are just unbalanced, man.
Yeah.
You don't know what they're going to do.
Shit, man. People are confused about everything.
Yeah, and they're triggered about it. They get triggered over everything too.
Everything. Like, how do you wake up in a bad mood, bro? Your day just started. Come on,
you
man.
wake up. Wake up ready to just fuck the world.
Hey, why you just got up, bro? Like, look outside at least, and then go from there.
Yeah. And I learned that, and I did it until we moved to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, it was cool. I bet the gas started getting really expensive, and it was hard to make anything. I was making money, but I was spending it all on gas.
Yeah, so you just did it more just
get out of the house.
Yeah,
and then if I wanted stuff, I didn't want. And you got to think, for a while, it took me a couple months to get my retirement, my disability. So it took me a little time. So I needed, Jamie was doing all right, but she was 1E6 at the time. We had bills for E14.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a little chunk of change right there.
Yeah, man, we have bills for E14. So I was trying to pay the bills and help her out. She was the main breadwinner for those 2 months.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's awesome, bro. It's actually it's been a privilege and an honor to get you on the podcast.
Oh, I'm glad
we definitely got to do it again. All right.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Vice versa.
Man, tell us how people can contact you, get a hold of you, listen to your podcast.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that. Yeah. So we're available anywhere you listen to podcasts, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, wherever you listen to it, we're there. But our email is e14podcast@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, or if you're military, TAC14 podcast, or if you're Instagrammers at E14 Podcasts, Twitter at E14 Podcasts. Like I said, we've been on a lull lately, but got a lot of content on our podcast. If you listen to podcasts, we still got a lot. We got almost 100 episodes out there.
Dang.
Y'all start doing reels yet, man?
We have. It's been a while. We've done it in the past. Jamie does all that stuff, man. I'm still learning.
You get back on it, man. It's popping right now. But
reels are big, man.
He's teaching me.
You getting that learning on?
Man, he's trying to teach me.
But yeah, any military though, if you're looking to get on the show, let us know, man. Hit us up on our Facebook, E14podcast@gmail.com.
That's what's up. I'm gonna let my man William here take over a little bit. He's got some questions he wants to ask. Go for it.
Okay. I got nothing.
You don't got nothing?
Yeah, I got one. My last question that I love to ask. First of all, I just want to say thank you again for your time. I really appreciate you guys being here, being present, getting you on the show means a lot to us.
Thank you guys.
For all you guys out there listening, there's so many ways to get involved and to continue to serve, man. Podcasting is one way, and you can see that right here with Heath. And the last thing is, of course, Charlie Mike means continue mission. So what does that term Charlie Mike mean to you?
That means, man, here's the deal, man. When you hear the horror stories, and we've all lived horror stories getting out of the military, our own little personal hell, right? To me, continued mission means just, yeah, you got shit you got to deal with, but that's shit you got to deal with. Don't give up. Never stop, even though it's hard. Whatever you got to do. If you gotta go see somebody for help, if you got to just talk to a buddy, don't stop. Don't throw in the towel, because you know what? There's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Amen. That's right, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Keep moving.
Yeah.
Keep forward. I don't care if you have to put your head down, and it takes, and it's like going in and walking into a windstorm. Every step counts, man.
Yeah.
Right. 100%. And
Have you heard the analogy, the difference between buffalo and cows?
no.
So have you, Heath?
I haven't heard it, bro. No.
So you want to be a buffalo, not a cow. Cows, when they see a storm, run away from the storm. And what happens? The storm stays with them as they're
Yeah,
running
yeah,
away.
exactly.
Buffalo, when they see the storm, they will all run towards the storm and get out of the storm faster because it'll
Yep.
pass through them.
I love that. I never heard that, but that's true
Is that a
though.
real thing?
Cows,
Yeah, bro, real thing.
because all they doing is staying in the storm. It's going to eventually catch them.
You're staying in the storm longer. And so,
Wow.
a lot of the things that you were saying that resonates completely with us is keep driving. At the end of the day, we know that storm is rough, but face the storm, put your head, do what you got to do to keep going. We're all buffaloes. We're going to face a storm with you. Let's roll.
Love it, man.
Yeah. And if they're struggling with anything,
I don't know. You tell me.
what's the best way for someone to reach out?
Bro, I'm going to have to write down notes so you can start doing it.
No, I like when you do it. That's
No,
why I
he
tell you.
does. So if you guys are out there, if you're listening and you're struggling and you need some help, the number is 988 press 1. That is suicide prevention hotline. Man, even if you're not, like, being able to use that number and share it on your socials, it is 988. If you are military or a veteran, press 1. Get you some help, man. And we're also here for you. I'm sure you can reach out to the E14. You can reach out to us. We're just one piece of the entire mission to make sure that you, Charlie Mike, you know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, man. Hey, and if you guys be sure to follow us on our social medias, be sure to follow my man William at Mustache Wisdom. If you haven't noticed, his TikTok is popping. This boy is, I think he's going viral. So y'all need to be sure to check him out on his TikTok, and as well as Instagram and his Facebook at Mustache Wisdom. And always follow us with Charlie Mike, the podcast, or you can follow the studio at Pearland Podcast Studio. If you're in the local area and you're interested, reach out to us and let's figure it out.
Yeah, man. It's popping out here, bro.
Man, hey, we're on fire right now, man.
Yeah.
It's on fire. We might
going.
might just profit this year. Yeah. Man. Hey, again, brothers, appreciate it. Be sure to tell Jamie we said hi. And
I will, man. I will.
Man, she's doing a damn thing out there. Hey, I better not see you wearing no Pittsburgh stuff either, bro.
Nah, dude. No, I don't wear that shit. I don't wear that shit.
Yeah.
I don't wear no Dallas shit either, though. So
No, me neither. Shit.
I don't wear no Houston shit.
Oh, Houston is what it is. Yeah. Hey, even if we suck, we still rep it.
Hey, you gotta rep it. You gotta rep your hometown, man. You gotta
Yeah,
rep your
man.
hometown.
Yeah. It's all about them Astros, though.
That's right.
Stros, yeah. I'll rep some Stro shit just because they're good.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna do it again this year.
Yeah, brother.
Again this year.
Yeah.
Be good, man.
Yeah,
Y'all
we
have a good
appreciate
night.
it.
And
You
thanks
too.
so much. Had a blast, man. Thanks again.
Thank you, man. And you guys always, Charlie Mike,